Hi everyone, in this video I'm going through fractional indices as shown in class by exercise 3, and this is the extension task 3 star, which basically means it's all level A and A star questions. Right, so the first couple of them are really easy again. It's just straightforward applying your basic rules. For number 1, we've got 144, and since it's to the power of a half, we know that we're going to take the square root of that. We don't write the 2, we don't write the 1, and the square root of 144 is simply 12. Right, for number 2, the same thing. We've got 900 inside the root to the power of a half. That means that the denominator goes outside and the 1 on the inside, we do not write that. And the square root of 900 is 30. Straightforward. For number 3, we've got a fraction of an eighth raised to the power of a third. Do not feel that you don't know what to do because it's a fraction. All you do is you've got your cube root and you've got your fraction on the inside. And you just break it up into a cube root of 1 and a cube root of 8. Now the cube root of 1 is 1 and the cube root of 8 is 2. So that answer is simply a half. Right, for number 4, we've got 1 over 32 and it's raised to the power of a fifth. Right, and all you need to do is you're going to take the fifth root of 1 over 32. And the fifth root of 1 is 1, and the fifth root of 32 is 2. So your answer is 1 over 2. Right, for number 5, we've got 81 raised to the power of 3/4, which translates into the fourth root of 81 to the power of 3. Now you can either decide to work this one out and manipulate this, or you can simply work this out in your calculator. And 81 times 81 times 81 will give you 531,441. And if you take the fourth root of that on your calculator, you're going to get 27. So your answer there will be 27. Right, let's just make some space here. Right, number 6, we've got a negative. Negative 125, all raised to the power of 2 over 3. Right, we know that in the denominator it goes on the outside of the root, and we've got minus 125 squared because that 2 goes in there. Right, now we've got, if we square root, a minus times a minus will give us a plus, and 125 times 125 gives us 15,625, and if we take the cube root of that, we're going to get 25. Right, so that answer is 25. For number 7, we've got 64 over 49, all raised to the power of a half, which simply means that this whole fraction goes inside a square root, and you can break it up into 64 over the square root of 49, which is 8 over 7. So that one is just 8 over 7. Right. For number 8, we've got 81 over 256 raised to the power of 3 over 4. Now what I would suggest is first simplify the part inside the bracket. So you are going to get 9 squared, which is 81, over 16 squared, which gives you 256 raised to the power of 3 over 4. But the 9 and the 16 can still be simplified even further. We can say that it's 3 to the power of 4 over 2 to the power of 8, all raised to the power of 3 over 4. Now what needs to happen is when we raise powers, we multiply the indices with one another. So we are going to get at the top of this fraction, we're going to get 3, 4 over 1, which is that one, times the 3 over 4 from outside the bracket, all divided by 2 to the power of 8 over 1, which is that 8, times 3 over 4 from outside the bracket. Then we have in the numerator, we have 12 over 4, and in the denominator, we have 2 to the power of 24 over 4. This would then be simplified to 3 to the power of 3 over 2 to the power of 6. And 3 to the power of 3 is 27, and 2 to the power of 6 is 64. Step by step. So this answer is 27 divided by 64. Right. For number 9, we've got a negative mixed number. So we've got minus 3 and 3 over 8, all raised to the power of 4 over 3. First, change this mixed number into an improper fraction. So 8 times 3 will give you 24, plus 3 will give you 27 over 8, and it's still a negative, all to the power of 4 over 3. Right, now again, you can decide whether you want to change that into a 3 to the power of a 3 and a 2 to the power of a 3, or you can simply do this. You can say that it's going to be a cube root, and you are going to have, because it's an even number, well, let's do it step by step first, minus 27 over 8, all raised to the power of 4. So you've got the cube root, 27 raised to the power of 4 gives you 531,441, and 8 to the power of 4 gives you 4,096. Because that is an even number, a minus times a minus times a minus times a minus will give you a positive number. Right, then if you put this into your calculator, you're going to get 81 divided by 16. Right, so your answer here, 81. 81 divided by 16. Right, for number 10, we've got 16 to the power of 2 over 5 times 4 to the power of 1 over 5. Now in this instance, I would simply try to change the base number so that the base numbers are the same. So 16 will give me 2 to the power of 4 times 2 over 5, that fraction, times, and 4 is 2 squared, times 1 over 5. Right, then when I multiply these, I get 2 to the power of 4 times 2 is 8 over 5, times 2, and 2 times 1 is 2 over 5. Now, when I have two base numbers that are the same, I can simply add the fractions, or add the indices, sorry. So you get 2 and 8 over 5 plus 2 over 5. And conveniently, the denominators are already the same, so you can just write 2 to the power of 10 over 5. And if we say 10 divided by 5, we get 2, and 2 to the power of 2 is 4. So for number 10, The answer is 4. Right, let's move on to number 11. Number 11 is 25 to the power of 3 over 5 divided by 5 to the power of a fifth. Okay, I would again change this so that the base numbers are exactly the same. 25 is 5 squared times the 3 over 5 of that fraction, of that indice, divided by 5 to the power of a fifth. So here we've got then 5, 2 times 3 is 6 over 5, divided by 5 to the power of a fifth. When we divide and the base numbers are the same, we subtract the indices. So we've got 5 to the power of 6 over 5, subtract 1 over 5. 6 minus 1 gives us 5. And 5 over 5 is 1. So our answer is simply 5. Right. For number 12, we've got 8 to the power of 5 over 3 divided by, in brackets, 16 over 25, all raised to the power of 3 over 2. You again have the choice. You can either simplify this and then multiply it by raising a power to a power, or you can go the way of taking the square root of 16 raised to the power of 3. So what I'm opting for is just to simplify this. I'm going to say 8 is 2 to the power of 3 times 5 over 3 divided by, I'm going to change the 16 into a 2 to the power of 4, and I'm going to change the 25 into a 5 squared, all raised to the power of 3 over 2. So that will give me 2 to the power of 3 times 5 is 15 over 3 divided by, and now I'm going to have to multiply that with one another. So I'm going to get 2 to the power of 12 over 2 all over 5 to the power of 6 over 2. Right, then I've got 2, 15 divided by 3 is 5, divided by 12 divided by 2 is 6, so it's 2 to the power of 6. And at the bottom we've got 5 to the power of 3. Now, the rules of dividing a fraction is KFC. You keep the first one, 2 to the power of 5 over 1. Keep the first one. Flip the second one, 5 to the power of 3 over 2 to the power of 6. And you change the sign. So now you have at the top 2 to the power of 5 times 5 to the power of 3 all over 2 to the power of 6. Right. Because these two base numbers are the same, we can cancel them out, right? We can say the bigger one is there's 6 2's at the bottom and 5 2's at the top. So when we simplify, we're simply going to get 5 to the power of 3 at the top all over 2. And 5 cubed is 125 divided by 2. And that is our final answer for this one. 125 divided by 2. Right. Step by step. For the last two questions, these are typical IGCSE exam questions where they want you to solve X by showing your working. Please do not attempt to use a calculator. Your only attempt should be to get the base numbers exactly the same so that you can kind of ignore them and then work on solving X. So we've got 7 to the power of X is equal to the fourth root of 7 raised to the power of 3. When we take the root away, we keep the base number. the raising part becomes our numerator and the 4 goes down to the denominator. Because the 7 and the 7 are the same base number, we can therefore simply state that x is equal to 3 over 4. Right, for number 14, same thing. We've got the fifth root of 5 is equal to 25x. We want to get the base numbers the same, so I'm going to say that 5 raised to the power of a fifth, which is that part, will be the same as 5 squared, which is 25 times x. So now we can say that 2x is in fact equal to a fifth. Right, we want to get x alone, so we divide both sides with 2. So x is equal to a fifth divided by 2. KFC applies, so it's a fifth. Keep the first one, flip the second one, change the sign, so x is equal to 1 over 10. And that is it for exercise 3 star.